Hi guys, my name is Tima. I'm a freelance video producer here in Seoul, South Korea. After quitting my job earlier this year and doing a long solo road trip around Korea, I'm about to kick off a 2-week journey around China. And I'm starting this trip here in Dalian. I lived in Dalian for 3 years right before moving to South Korea, but I never had the chance to explore the city itself and also other parts of the country. So this is going to be a bit of a homecoming and a chance to rediscover the country that was and still is such a big part of my life. During this trip, I'll be visiting must-see attractions as well as some lesser-known gems, experiencing the local culture, meeting many of my high school and university friends, and trying as many unique dishes as possible. I'm excited to bring you along for this trip and showcase China the way you've never seen it before. Welcome to my new travel series, China Chronicles. Good morning guys, I'm in Incheon International Airport and I'm heading yet for another adventure. I can't believe that I'll be spending 2 weeks outside of South Korea with only one backpack. I might regret it later, but I wanted to travel light, so here we are. Alright guys, weather update. It's snowing so much here in Korea and I bet Seoul is going to be so beautiful in a couple of hours, and I feel a little bad that I will not be here. Alright, I'm ready for the next 2 weeks in China. Let's get the journey started. Alright, so the flight was very short, about an hour from Incheon to Dalian, but South Korea had a really big snowstorm that exact day, so it took us a long time to even take off. But hey, I watched the airplane be in the ice for the first time, which was pretty cool. So after a few hours on board, I finally landed in Dalian, China, the city I lived in for 3 years, from 2012 to 2015, as I was there for my high school. And of course, when in Dalian, I'm going to be chilling with Igor.
Давно не виделись, Игорь. Alright, back to my Chinese hometown. After such a long flight, we are here for the first time.
How many hours was delayed? Like 3 hours, right?
I was supposed to depart 9:35, now it's 3:12. It is just 1 hour flight, even less. But yeah, but it's good. Back to Dalian, and just like the last time, I'm starting this journey at the subway station. And here, even though I studied here and I lived here for 3 years, I don't really know the city that well, and it's been so long, so I'll just probably be sticking around Igor and following him to whatever places he brings me.
Еду в Китае можно купить через телефон, в принципе, через любое приложение, где у тебя есть деньги. Например, я сейчас использую Чуфубао. Вот,
Я тоже могу, получается, сканировать?
Да, по идее можешь. Вот, допустим, Дианцай, то есть заказ в ресторане, видишь, тут даже картинки есть, 2 человека. Вот. Ну и выбираем уже. Закрываем себе дурацкие вкладки, в Китае не любят вот эти интегрированные рекламные всякое дерьмо. И уже выбираем еду, потом уже здесь оплачиваем все, и все. Они приносят еду.
About to have the first meal of this trip here in Dalian. Well, the really cool thing here is that there is a QR code, and you can scan this QR code, make your order, and also pay using your phone. So there is really no need to take out the card, there is really no need to set up a terminal. Everything is done efficiently.
Вот.
Zhang.
So for the first meal today, we are having some noodles with liver. Yeah, it's been a while since I had liver, so it's gonna be very interesting. We also have some dumplings, we have dessert, and we have this buckwheat tea. So inside here we do have the slices of kidney, we have the soy sauce, we have some vegetables here. It's really, like Igor said, a very well balanced meal. It's been so long since I had kidney, so this is a really good starter. This kidney is soft and it's chewy and goes so well with noodles. So we are dipping the soy sauce on these buns. Do the same. This is very new to me, but I think it's pretty smart. And you pour the soy sauce on it. This is the bun before we eat it. There is a broth inside, and meat. You see how it's dripping? Really, really good. There is like a lot of meat inside. I think there is also some like onion and a few other vegetables. It's all mixed and steamed. It's really good. It does have, I think out of 4 spices, I mainly feel the soy sauce and salt, I guess, which is very simple, but it's very hard to go wrong with this, especially for buns.
You can translate it as little dragon bun, and it's actually, I would say, more healthy version of traditional Chinese baozi because it contains less fats. So it's actually mostly dough and meat. It has some grass and greeneries inside, and it's all steamed, so it's very, very healthy, I would say.
So we're gonna cut this signature dish. I'm gonna make a little bit of a mess. Yeah, you can tell I don't eat stuff like this or anything fancy because I don't even know how to cut this stuff.
You're cutting it like it's a steak or something.
Yeah. It's very interesting. So, это хлеб. So it's bread-based dessert with a lot of cream and chocolate-based toppings. So China is the place to have tea, so we stopped by this cool tea place and they got such a cool design of everything they create, and that's what stood out to me the most. I really like it over here. The temperature of this tea is like perfect. It's not boiling hot or anything like this. You can like drink it right away. Right, so we are currently in Kaifechu. This is the area which used to be like a downtown for us when I used to be a high school student, so that's where we would like go to eat, spend a little bit of time at night because we used to like live a few stations away from here. So now we are starting the day by looking for something to eat. Yeah, it's actually the worst season to come here, but this is my only opportunity to come to China for this long, and even if it's winter, I still didn't want to miss this chance because there is still a lot of food to eat, there is still a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see, so we are gonna do exactly that.
Как естся этот кусок мяса? Все достаточно просто. Берется перчатка, берется кусок мяса, естся. Для чего трубочка, скажете вы? Ну, чтобы костный мозг, получается, есть. Очень удобно, очень вкусно. Такой уж местный деликатес.
So from the name of it, it's basically fried noodles with egg, and I see vegetables like onions inside.
Да, аккуратно.
Охуенный чувак. Тут столько вкуса. Despite this being very simple and relatively cheap food, this is like really delicious. Like I can have this a lot of times and not get sick with it. Right, and we are going to try next the meat. This is basically a big chunk of pork that we are supposed to just chew on, I guess. It's very soft, it's very fat, but the taste mainly comes from the marinade or the sauce it was cooked in. It's really good. Alright, I'm gonna show you what the straw is for. Inside this bone, actually, in here, there is a bone marrow, and this straw is to basically eat what's inside or like sip on what's inside. So we put this all the way in, like as deep as possible. I'm just gonna try to sip what's inside. So there isn't a lot of it, but whatever was inside was like really, really salty, but flavorful. I think I was making a mess at this point, so apron for the rescue. Also, I couldn't put it on by myself, so the waiter had to unfold the whole thing for me. Yeah, I had no idea how to do this. Feeling very embarrassed, but that's fine. Alright, so over here for side dishes we are having garlic that is marinated. I don't know in what sauce, in some sauce. Yeah. We do have liver over here, and these are nuts with a lot of like greeneries inside. Very interesting. I haven't seen most of this before, but it's really cool.
It's actually just boiled without salt or anything.
Yeah, this is just like a boiled liver. Let's try this liver.
Нормально, да?
It's nice. So because it's a side dish, it's cold. I like it. Very soft. not chewy. Nice. We then took a taxi and went to a city center to walk around places I haven't been to before.
Alright, so it's essentially a fishery village with a lot of these buildings built around it and a lot of the small businesses which are closed today or in general this time of the year, just because it's really cold. There are barely any people, but we are still gonna try to make the most out of it.
So the thing about Dalian is, even though I lived here for 3 years, it wasn't really a city center. It was actually outskirts, even an hour away from Dalian by train. And since I was a high school student, I didn't really get the chance to explore the city, so a lot of these places we are visiting today are new to me. It is, in a way, me getting to know the city almost like it's my first time here.
Alright, and this is the place where you can really tell that this is not the season for this type of the street. All these places that are supposed to have like shops and, you know, small boutiques, cafe shops, they are all closed. And this particular mini square over here does have a lot of people, so we are moving to another area to explore a little bit more. Yeah. Right, this is a place with one of really good views of the city, and we are doing the second round of drinks. Coffee.
Yeah, coffee hop, I would say.
Coffee hopping. Really.
No, coffee hopping, right?
But this is a really good spot because we can see a lot of the city right from here.
Alright, so because there are several layers in this coffee, you are supposed to make big sips. That's what I'm doing.
Alright, our next destination, one of Dalian's famous places, Russian Street.
Russian Street in Dalian is like stepping back in time to the early 1900s when the city was leased to Russia. You can still see many old Russian-style buildings in the area. In the 90s, the street was renovated and renamed to Russian Street to preserve its historical significance. Today, it's a popular tourist spot where you can experience a unique blend of Russian and Chinese culture.
So far, this street is mainly about souvenirs, some chocolate, some, you know, traditional Russian matryoshka, which is like a doll that has many dolls inside, and yeah, so far that's it. Yeah, it's really pretty. There are so many places to visit, but it's all, it seems like they all sell very similar stuff anywhere you go. Oh, actually here, a Russian song now. One really big difference that I notice here after, I guess 2 days being in China is that like there is way more small talk than there is in Korea. Like it's pretty common for people to just talk a little bit. I guess partially because the Korea's personality is like this, but I also think that if I were to speak more Chinese, I would have a lot of small talks with people around, like be it somebody at the table next to us, be it a restaurant, be it just any place, any establishment. It's really cool. I do see people talk to each other way more. This is like I think so far the biggest difference and the thing that I like the most about being in China, being on the strip, I guess. Another thing that I just want to mention is that I feel really way more comfortable holding the camera and talking to the camera here in public. I, for some reason, a little bit more shy when I'm in Korea, just because I feel like everybody watches and everybody cares, but here I don't know, I just my feeling is like nobody cares if I talk to the camera or not. There are so many people taking pictures, there are many people who take videos, many people with cameras, and I feel like it's a little bit more common, I guess, to do this. I don't know, I just feel like if I start talking to the camera in a cafe in the middle of, I don't know, any place, a restaurant, nobody cares. So I just feel like I don't draw as much attention over here, which is really good. Alright, we are back to Kaifachu. That's the place that I know so well. The subway station that I used to visit so many times. I don't think this is the place you go to as a tourist. I don't think there's like a lot to recommend, but this is where I used to spend a lot of time as a kid, and this is where we are gonna have dinner.
Well, Brad was a teenager, not a kid.
Teenager, not a kid. I think I'm just being nostalgic most of the time when I come to Dalian about the past. This is the reason we are here so often. So this is perhaps the last meal here in Dalian for me this time. Every time I'm here, the trips are filled with food and drinks, which I absolutely love. So yeah, this is going to be the farewell dish. What I'm having is basically chicken and then beef and then fried onions and rice. And this is Igor's dish, which is basically fried beef with cabbage mainly and rice on the side. I feel like I've gotten to know Dalian even more compared to the 3 years that I lived here, just because I actually got to see parts of the city that are pretty cool and new to me. It's really cool. I love the city. It's my Chinese hometown. It's always going to be a city I'm gonna appreciate and want to come back to. I'm just very lucky now that I have a friend who lives here, and then I don't know if I can come here as often if he's not here. So yeah, every time I get the opportunity, I try to be here and share this experience. What I think is that right before now, we were just visiting the city, visiting a friend. And I didn't have to take care of anything. He took care of everything. But the real travel, where we're gonna discover new places and be in new situations and experience new things, is starting from this point. So let's take the taxi to the airport and head to Beijing. Alright? Taxi is coming in 4 minutes. Let the adventure begin. Yeah. Right guys, I'm gonna wait for the boarding. This is the end of my trip to Dalian. It was very beautiful 2 days. I really, like, every time I come here, I love the city even more. People are super kind. The city is actually chill, and it's not the way I remember it, just because I didn't really explore it that much before. So I'm really happy I got the chance to be here and explore it again. This is the end. See you in the next destination for this trip, Beijing.